Hi there. Just a video re Simon Doull's comments about Jofra Archer. Simon Doull was a bit perplexed by the fact that Archer isn't going to play in the first test for England against New Zealand. Just to quote him, he says, "It's ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. How are you paying this guy up to £1 million a year and he's not available for your first test match? It's absolutely ludicrous." He then goes on to make some comparisons about the New Zealand players who managed to juggle the IPL and their Test career or international career in general, and the IPL successfully. Tim Southey, Trent Boult, and Matt Henry. Now, I think, let's be honest, Jofra Archer was a mercenary. Wasn't born in England, um, wasn't brought up in England. His dad was born in Liverpool, but he didn't really spend any time in England. He went to play for Sussex as a young man. Doesn't really have much of an attachment to England, and picked England because it was more lucrative than playing for his actual his nation of the West Indies, and that's the reality. So you can't be surprised if he preferences the IPL over playing for England because it's just really a career choice for him. So England pays more than the West Indies, but the IPL is more lucrative than playing for England. And playing bowling 4 overs a match is a lot easier than slugging away in a test match for, I don't know, 17 to 20 overs a day. Also having to field for 6.5 hours or come in and bat. So that's the reason. And it doesn't need much more explanation than that. I remember, what's this, about 2019, Kevin Peterson said it was clear that Archer didn't want to play test cricket and was more suited to playing the white ball game. England denied it. But subsequently, Kevin Peterson's been proved absolutely spot on. And if only they'd really worked with that rather than like kidding themselves. Um, they, as Doull says, they give them ridiculous amounts of money for not much product. Hasn't really had much kind of significance for England as a player since 2019. He was great in that World Cup win. But funnily enough, had his worst game in the final, but great throughout that World Cup. Really good in that the Ashes series after that, they ended 2-2. After then, nothing much. He got injured and no, didn't play in the World Cup winning T20 2022 tournament, and that's it. So in retrospect, it was a bit of a mistake giving him those lengthy contracts. At least um, the length, it was the length, just like um, he's had contracts from 2019 and it's 2026 now, and played very little cricket. So there we go. But he isn't the only one. If you look at the contracts that Rob Key, in all his wisdom, gave out in 2023, some of them really are ridiculous. And if you were to kind of have an auditor come in or an inspector and look at the waste of money, it would be amazing. If it was like a government department or something, they would be closed down. I'll go through it. So in 2023, 2024, he gave 3-year contracts to Brooke, Root, and Wood. Brooke fine, Root fine. Mark Wood, the guy is perpetually injured, hardly plays, and even people at the time said, this is 3 years ago, how are you giving this guy a 3-year contract? If he was a horse, they'd shoot him, but he did it. Ahmed, someone who's flattered to deceive, just giving him money in spite of not performing, just on potential. Archer, they gave a 2-year 1-2, and then obviously renewed it each year. Johnny Bairstow, who that year I think played one more series and that was it. We got 2 years worth of contract for a few months' work. Butler was fair enough. Bryden Cast, kind of fair enough. I mean, Crawley played. They gave it to Crawley, not successfully, but he played. Corran, that was fine. Ben Dockett, fine. Livingston as a white ball player, fine. Ollie Pope, fine. Potts, fine. Rashid, Tong, Wokes got 1 year too many. It's not the end of the world. Anderson, who they were going to retire off, still got a 1-year contract. Moeen Ali again, who was at the end of his career. David Milan, they gave him that 1-year contract, and then after a few months, never played him again. Ollie Robinson, quite similar. And then Ben Stokes only wanted a 1-year one, and he got it renewed, and he's got a few more years after that. But basically, the problem with England under Key, under McCollum and Stokes, is that there is no performance-related pay. There's no strings attached. It's just a club where you're in there forever. You're in there forever, and you're not rewarded for. It's not a case of being rewarded for success and punished for failure. You're just rewarded, and that's it. And results don't matter. And this is the consequence of it. And what Simon Doull pointed out correctly is kind of endemic in this England side. So there we go, and that's the reason they are an extremely average side under McCollum, Key, and Stokes, because they don't prioritise winning, and they don't prioritise players performing at a high level. And that's it.